it's not just the Chinese that celebrate this particular holiday. It's also celebrated by many of the Asian ethnicities, especially in Southeast Asia, such as the Vietnamese with their Tet, the Singaporeans, as well as the Malaysians. Now, the Koreans and the Japanese do not follow the lunar calendar. They go by the solar calendar, so they celebrate their New Year on January 1st, as we do here in America. Does anyone want to take a wild guess as to what kind of year this is going to be? The year of the tiger. This year we say goodbye to the year of the ox and hello to the year of the tiger. And this means that those tigers, individuals who are going to turn an age that is divisible by 12, so 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, will have an especially significant year. Now, people who are born in the year of the tiger are said to be bold and brave and courageous. They're fierce protectors, and especially for children. Have you noticed that there is folk clothing for newborns with little tiger shoes and tiger hats and with those batting eyes? And that's a means for protection for the children. They really keep their eye out for protecting the children so they don't stumble or fall while they're learning how to walk. And tigers will also strike out on any threat. His stripes symbolizes the yin and the yang. He's dependable, unpredictable, enthusiastic, tender, and loving. And tigers are most compatible with dogs and horses, and most uncompatible with monkeys. So you see here some famous tigers. I mean, Queen Elizabeth II, isn't she a great protector? Tom Cruise in another way, kind of scary. Tony Bennett, Demi Moore, Penelope Cruz, Leo, who is very much working to protect the environment these days, and Hello Kitty. Do we all know Hello Kitty? Hello Kitty is actually a tiger. Who would have known? Because I haven't seen her stripes lately. Now, the year of the tiger is said to be turbulent and volatile. It's a time of political upheaval, international crises, and natural disasters. Does this feel familiar? I tell you, I was getting goosebumps when I was doing research for this a couple of months ago. But it said it's not a time to be meek or mild, that nerves of steel are warranted. And we're to take advantage to inject renewed vitality into those projects that have been put on the back burner. And this is a year also for massive change and social upheaval. So if you're thinking about the White House and the Congress, I'm just like, is this too coincidental? You know, tigers, though, don't sustain their fury for long. And if we can ride out the storm, peace again will reign. And next year, the following year, will be the year of the rabbit, a year of peace and calm. Now, it is also said that if it is your tiger year, and you are a tiger, that you should wear a small piece of jade as a means of protection because your energies are heightened. So if there are any tigers out there, it's time to go do a little shopping. And has anyone here heard about the story about why a tiger has stripes? There's an old Chinese tale that says when a tiger cub is born, he doesn't have a single stripe. In fact, he doesn't even look like a tiger at all. Then the little cub begins to explore and have adventures, and he grows and he learns and he has experiences, and he learns how to be brave and kind and think for himself. And he learns everything a cub needs to learn to become a tiger, the king of the jungle. And as he learns, his stripes begin to emerge, and stripes of maturity starts to come, and wisdom and pride. And this year it said that we're to emulate being like tigers, although not like Tiger Woods, of course, but those that are strong, wise, kind, and generous. Have you noticed that the Lunar New Year holiday has also become American? There's a whole collection of U.S. postage stamps in honor of the Lunar New Year and the astrological calendar. As you can see, this was released a couple of years ago, several years ago actually, because its postage is still at 37 cents. This year we're at 44 cents, and the Chinese New Year stamp is actually the flower, the narcissus, which is considered the Chinese New Year flower. Now this year, Chinese New Year, or the Lunar New Year, began on February 14th. It was a sweet firecracker of a day, and the Chinese New Year typically begins at the new moon. It's a 15-day celebration, begins at the new moon and concludes at the full moon. So we are right smack dab in the middle of the celebration. So the last day of the Chinese New Year will be February 28th. And typically, the holiday will escalate. It begins very quiet with family dinner, and then it escalates into one huge big block party. For instance, in San Francisco, with the Chinese New Year's parade, which is the largest parade of its kind in North America, is always timed during the Lantern Festival. Now, the Chinese New Year typically, in my home, in preparation, and because we were already well into the holiday, we can kind of pass this by, but nevertheless in my family we would start with spring cleaning. We would clean everything in terms of decluttering the home, go through the closets and the drawers and the cupboards, and we'd toss out the old and make room for the new. We would clean all our kitchen appliances, send the blinds out for cleaning, and then we'd also be sure that all our debts are paid so we don't take them into the new year. And then after all that hard work is done, we go shopping. Massive shopping. You know, shopping for the home in terms of decorations, shopping for new clothes, always preferably something in red, because red is the good luck color, but it's not just necessary good luck. Red refers to the lifeblood of humans, and it is the color that evil demons despise and they fear. So that is the tradition in terms of the color red. And also we would buy brand new clothes, everything worn over and under, accessories, underwear, coats, socks, nylons, everything that's to be worn. And it was a time when my mother had said that in old China was the only time when the Chinese could afford such luxuries. I think that it's different these days. But nevertheless, those in the rural area could only afford luxuries during the Chinese New Year. And it's always meant that these goods that we would purchase during this time would sustain us for the entire year. Now, I associate the Chinese New Year with the 5 F's, and they are family, friends, food, flowers, and good fortune. And during the celebration, there are multiple dinners and social gatherings, but the most single obligation, the most important obligation when I interviewed all the Chinese aunties and uncles for my book was the Chinese family dinner. And the reason for this was because it symbolized a family's unity. It's like being home for the holidays. Then Auntie Lau, my old auntie, reminded me of the old Chinese saying that when a family doesn't share Chinese New Year dinner, its heart will grow cold. And that's what brought it all home for me. Now, the Chinese holiday is similar to Christmas or the holidays in the Jewish tradition in that it is surrounded by food. And the most common celebratory dishes associated to the Chinese New Year is jai. Jai is a vegetarian dish. It's also called the monk's dish. And it has all types of auspicious ingredients, such as dried oysters for good business, long bean threads that are called feng xi that look like clear noodles for longevity, dried bean curd for abundance, fat choy. And fat choy looks like long black threads for good luck, and a host of other symbolic ingredients that I've included in my book in terms of a tablet and a definition that are sauteed in a wok with sesame oil and oyster sauce. Now, have you noticed that in the Chinese restaurants that the poultry and fish are served whole, complete with head and fins and feet and eyes. And now this isn't for the shock factor, but there's a reason for it. And the reason is because the Chinese believe that serving fish and game in pieces is considered broken.